Hello! Welcome back to another video. Today's video is about whether gravel bikes are actually safe to ride or not. So, the reason why I'm doing this video, I just finished the old short way, no problem. Video coming in a few weeks, take me a while to edit it. As I was putting my bike away when I got home, and I realised that the bit the axle goes through in the carbon fibre fork was actually loose and has come away from the carbon leg. So I was like, this isn't good. So that's what this video is about. And then a few other things happened after that, which also has pushed me to make this video actually. And I think, while some people might think that this is a bit clickbaity, I think it's actually really important. So we're going for a little ride today. We are going over to Foxton Locks, and then we're gonna pop into one of my favourite cafes. But it's a bit of a road ride. The only way to get there really, without doing 100 miles, is to go on the road. So we're doing about 50 miles today. So yeah, I noticed this issue. I was like, oh, what do I do about this? So I went onto Facebook, and there's a Salsa Cutthroat sort of owners group, Facebook group, and I posted the video that I just showed you of basically the fork insert coming loose on there, and said like, has anyone else had this issue? Turns out a lot of people have had that issue. I knew there was already a recall for Salsa forks, so I checked my fork to see whether it was one of the ones that they recalled, even though I've checked it before. It wasn't one of the forks that Salsa recalled. On the Facebook group, everyone was like, the recall isn't actually for the insert coming loose, that's a completely different issue. The recall was just for forks just basically exploding and shattering. So my fork's not one of those. And they haven't done a recall for the fork insert, despite the fact that so many people have had that issue, and it's actually pretty dangerous if the bit that holds in your wheel falls out the bottom of your fork, I think. So yeah, so it's pretty dangerous. A lot of people have said that Salsa replaced their fork, even though it wasn't one of the recall ones, no issues, but when they did get the fork replaced, it happened to the fork again. And some people have had it happen like 2 or 3 times to their forks. So that's not good, is it? So for what I'll do is I'll contact the bike shop that I bought the bike from, see if they can sort it out. I should probably name and show them naming Harriet Cycles. Email on the screen now. And as you can see, they didn't really answer any of my questions and told me they no longer sold Salsa bikes. Basically, they weren't interested. So they pointed me towards Lion Equipment, who was the distributor for Salsa bikes in the UK. However, now they're not, and there is no UK distributor. So I've emailed Salsa directly, and I'm waiting for an answer from them on that. The story doesn't end there. So I haven't got it sorted out, and actually I haven't got my proof of purchase yet, because Damien Harris Cycles won't help me out. So I'll have to try and sort that out, and I'm waiting to hear from Salsa. But then I noticed something else. Haley sent me a link to a news article that came out the other day, and it was about a guy who had the fork on his Planet X bike basically implode on him. As a result of that, he is now paralysed, and he took them to court, managed to get £4.5 million from them. But in that article, it spoke about something that I was not aware of when it came to gravel bikes, and that's what I'm going to talk about in a minute. So what I discovered from the article was that a guy called Dr. Daniel Gordan was riding a Planet X Tempest, and Planet X describes the bike as being lively on the road but confident to play on mountain bike trails. And what happened was Dr. Daniel Gordan was riding his Planet X Tempest down a grassy hill, and the fork completely failed, and he obviously fell off, and what happened was he was then paralysed as a result of that accident. So he's took Planet X to court, and he's got 4.5 million off them, because while that description that Planet X used for their marketing to say that the bike's lively on the road but confident enough to play on mountain bike trails was the description that they used, in court they argued that the bike wasn't rated for riding mountain bike trails. He was using the bike inappropriately. So I looked into these ratings, and Dr. Daniel Gordan's bike had an ASTM rating, which is the American Society for Testing of Materials, of 2. The rating goes from 1 to 5, and I'll just tell you what they are now. So 1 is basically like the weakest bike, I guess, like bikes that are designed and rated to be ridden on paved surfaces, so road bikes. Then number 2, which is my gravel bike and also the Planet X Tempest. So my gravel bike's the Specialized Crux, are bikes that are designed to be ridden on unpaved surfaces, i.e. gravel, and they can be ridden off drops of up to 15 centimetres, which doesn't sound like a lot. I will show you what 15 centimetres looks like in a minute. So 15 centimetre drops, my phone is about 15 centimetres. You won't believe this, but most curbs in England, in the UK, are just under 15 centimetres. So if you've got a grade 2 gravel bike, that means you can ride down curbs. And then we've got grade 3, which are designed to be ridden on rough trails and drops of up to 61 centimetres, which is my Salsa Cutthroat with the broken fork. Then we've got grade 4, which are bikes that have been designed to be ridden on downhill grades, whatever that means, speeds of less than 25 miles an hour, and can be ridden over jumps of up to 122 centimetres. And then finally we've got grade 5, which are bikes that can be ridden on extreme jumps, whatever that means, and speeds of over 25 miles per hour, which is what my Specialized Epic Evo 8 is rated at. Surprisingly, I would have thought it'd been rated lower, to be honest. Anyway, so that got me thinking, what's my bike rated as? So I looked into it. Like I say, the Specialized Crux is rated as a number 2, which means I can ride it on unpaved gravel and drops of up to 15 centimetres. Cutthroat is a number 3, so drops of 61 centimetres, and rough trails, whatever rough trails means, not it's entirely sure. And then I thought, well, okay, they're my bikes. What about some of the other popular gravel bikes? So, Canyon Grail. It's really hard to find these ratings actually. I've done a bit of research. Canyon Grail is possibly a number 1, which is on paved surfaces, but it's a gravel bike, or it could be a 2 depending on where you look. I couldn't find the manual, so it's a 1 or a 2. If it's a 1, that is just like really shocking, to be honest. Doesn't seem right to me. Another Canyon bike, the Grizzle, is rating 3, so the same as the Salsa Cutthroat. Cannondale Topstone is a number 2, so the same as my Specialized Crux. Orbea Terra is a number 2, same as the Crux. And the Specialized Diverge is a number 3, so same as the Cutthroat. So it's made me think about this actually, and it's not something that I was aware of, and I don't think many cyclists are aware that their bikes are rated for certain surfaces and certain riding. And I don't think it's right, to be honest, because some people's version of gravel is different to other people's version of gravel. Some people's versions of gravel is a lot more chunky and a lot more meaty than other people's versions of gravel, and it depends on where you live. but bike companies don't advertise what their bike is designed to be ridden on or tested to be ridden on. And I think that is something that is extremely important that they do that. So I wanted to make this video to point this out to people and to get you to go and check what you should be riding your bike on and make sure you're not riding it outside of its limits. So my crux is a 2. It's not why I'm just riding it on the road today. I just wanted to go to that cafe, but it's a 2, and now that's made me sort of question where I'm actually going to ride that bike now. The Salsa Cutthroat with the broken fork, I haven't ridden it outside of those limits, I don't think so, so I wouldn't say that's why the fork's broken, but it does make you think. The other point of this video as well is that with my Cutthroat, I was not aware that there was anything wrong with the bike. I didn't check the fork because I thought that there was a problem. I just generally, when I put my bikes away and get them out, I give them a look over just to see whether I can notice any issues. I think it's really important as cyclists that we all do this. If I hadn't have done that, I could have ended up like Dr. Daniel Gordan, having a serious accident. You know, I could have been paralysed or much worse. So I'm hoping that Salsa are going to come back to me and replace my fork. But then if they do replace the fork, what am I going to do? I'm not entirely sure at the minute. And this is like the second carbon fibre bike that I've broken this year. I mean, I broke the transition spur by it falling over, but it's starting to make me think, do I want to be riding carbon fibre gravel bikes, particularly off-road? If they replace that fork with a new carbon fork, do I actually want to ride it with another carbon fork? Because like I say, in the Cutthroat user group on Facebook, people are having repeated issues with that fork, and I don't know if I want to take that risk. So I'm sort of thinking either I'm going to stick a suspension fork on there, which will be a bit more sturdy, or maybe, even though it pains me to say it, I really love the bike, but maybe it's time to swap that bike out for a steel bike, which I think will be a bit sturdier. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think, is it something that you were aware of? Were you aware that bikes have a rating for what they should be ridden on? I'm not sure if this rating is like a mandatory thing either. I couldn't really find a whole lot of information, and some bikes that I looked at, I couldn't find a rating for them. There should potentially be a rating on your bike, and I advise you to go and check it. And I also advise you to go and have a look at your bike now, particularly areas where if it fails, it's going to be catastrophic, like your fork or around your rear wheel, and make sure that everything is as it should be before you go and ride it, and regularly go and check it. Because having read that article and been in that situation myself, riding 350 miles potentially on a fork that could have potentially gave way at any moment on that route, fully loaded up, it's really made me think I need to be paying more attention to my bikes, and I need to probably think about what my bike's actually made out of and where it's designed to be ridden. So we're gonna go and ride to Foxton Locks and have a little bit of a look round, go and get some cake at the Café, which is just up the road from there. So the water is coming out of here into there to raise the boat up, and out of there. So once the gates are level, they can then open this, and then they can move into the next lock. It's quite interesting.
Only got one lock, what's left?
So anyway, we're going to go off now and we're going to ride to my favourite cafe and have some nice cake and tea. Woo-wee. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Let me know in the comments below. I hope you all go away and check your bikes now. Tell me what grade they are and check your bikes over and make sure there's no issues that could potentially cause a catastrophic failure to your bike. And if you do find anything, let me know. And hopefully this video helps somebody out and prevents something like that happening to you. It's definitely made me think, since looking into it for this video, it's made me think about where I'm riding, what I'm riding. And if I was to buy a new gravel bike now, I would definitely take into consideration that rating. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.